Guys, look, today's agenda is hot here. But there's a topic, right, that even André suggested. And I said, man, thanks for suggesting this topic, because we would miss an interesting opportunity to touch on a subject that I think is cool for several reasons, right? It's a delicate subject, not for us, right, but for the person who did such a thing, which is Giacomo Turra, right, man? I don't know if you guys know, but he's an Italian guitarist. Let me just tell the story, because I think from this we can talk about some important topics. Our goal here is not to keep criticizing the guy, right? I think he is also worthy of a good critique, but it's more about us being able to talk about what value we can take from this, what we can learn, right? So, to sum up the story, this Giacomo Turra is a guy who gained a lot of notoriety on the internet by making short videos, right, man? Of 30 seconds, 40 seconds, very well produced. Playing solos, man. It's playing grooves, some little themes, right? Yeah, possibly you've seen it. Several people have sent me his videos. And what happened, man? A guy, what's the name of the guy who exposed him there?
The last name is Sapico. I don't remember the first name now.
Yeah, a YouTuber. Posted a video of him playing Nemo. Not so well. And then, man, yeah, what unfolded from that afterwards? You were telling, I think you explained it better. Go ahead.
Yeah, the first perspective there, even with that video from Sapico, right, was to show what the reality of Instagram musicians was. There was even a title going in that direction, right? Okay, what you see on the internet isn't always the truth. So he made a compilation of videos from various different musicians, not just guitarists, keyboardists. But yeah, I think there was also a basis there for trying to show, look how these guys are live. Then Giacomo's was that kind of strange video, right? A somewhat strange tone, a somewhat questionable execution. And it started from that principle there. Cool, up until then it's not a crime, right?
The video wasn't just about him. There were several guys.
Several were there. Giacomo was one.
His was just in the mix there.
Exactly. In fact, I read some comments, right? Who doesn't, right? And there were some people saying, no, I think you owe Giacomo an apology or something like that. Because it was in that sense. Because up until then, you watch the videos. They are super well-produced videos, as you mentioned, right? An execution there. That's almost too perfect, right? Yeah. And then this. This reality check was the intention of the video. Meaning, look, you idolize the guy on the internet saying, wow, this guy here. And in fact, it's not all that, right? The internet can hide a lot of things, right?
Yeah. So at first, the video might have seemed a bit nitpicky to some musicians. Really, right? But then, man, I believe a lot of people started commenting on another issue about him, right? That he would take improvisations from other musicians, songs from other musicians, and pretend they were his. I think that was, in fact, worse with improvisation, right, man? Taking, man, a 30-second, a 40-second improvisation from a guy, and it wasn't just one or two, no, man. There were about 14 videos.
Wow, many indeed.
From that Alex, what's the guy's name? That
Hutching?
English, right?
Yeah, and several other much less known guys.
Yes, yes.
Sometimes the guy's video had, I don't know, 50 views. The guy would take the video, remove the guy's solo, or take the guy's tab, I don't know. He'd learn it, do the thing, and record it as if it were his own.
Wow.
Right? That in itself, man, is already a pretty serious thing.
Yeah.
Because he not only did that and sold the stuff, he didn't give credit. We actually only found out that he wasn't giving credit after this blew up coming from several guys, right?
Exactly.
Because several guys showed, no, man, look, I sent him a private message telling him to give credit. Then he put the credit way down, hidden. So he did this. Man, it was more than 10 times, man.
Wow.
So it really seems like a character flaw.
Questionable character too.
Right? So, but anyway, he did this even with the music of a Brazilian buddy here from Thiago, right? Gomez or Fonseca?
I think it was Gomez that we saw.
Thiago Gomez he blatantly took the guy's music. So he tried to take these things, man, from guys who weren't a Grudzi Govan, because if he did that, everyone would find out, right?
Didn't have much visibility, right?
A lot of visibility. But to make matters worse, they found out that the guy would take the sound from the guys improvising, record it halfway through,
and then sped it up later.
and then sped it up afterwards using software and quantized it.
All wrong.
Wow. So it's like we were talking about, right, man? If the foundation is bad, you're going to build a building. The building will fall. Everything will collapse.
That's the true facade guitarist, right?
Totally, man.
Totally.
And it's funny because I always listened to this guy's sound. I always found it plastic. And I always questioned. My brother, it's not possible that people didn't also notice the plastic sound, because you feel that if very plasticized sound, right, man? Everything is too perfect. There's no, it's the same volume, the same dynamics. The phrasing is very tight.
And playing badly live is the least of it in this case, right? Like playing badly live is just
Yeah, the first video, right? It was criticized, right?
criticized for playing who hasn't gone on stage and had a questionable performance, right?
I'm bad, right, man? Or the guy's bad, right? There are days when the aim is off, right, man? Yeah. I didn't even think the guy's video was that bad. It wasn't. So,
It wasn't the same.
yeah, let's say his 100% is on the internet. The video was, I don't know, 30%, but it was an acceptable 30%.
Yes, yes.
But anyway, right, man, it happened. It fell apart. So I think I wanted to discuss here with you two topics that I think are interesting. First, the limit of copying, right, man? I'll give my point of view here because I think that if you, for example, take an improvisation by Charlie Parker, by John Coltrane, you play over it, it's all good, right? You give credit to John Coltrane. Congratulations, brother. Man, that's top notch, right? That's a difficult improvisation. If he had taken the improvisation from these guys, recorded it, and given credit, cool. I grow along with it, and the guy there grows along with me, right? It's the story of the candle, right? If you come with a candle, I light yours. Our two candles are lit. But the guy wants to hide this, right? And that's the thing we were even questioning here. Taking this improvisation, transcribing it and selling it, is that wrong? It wouldn't be. Right? I think the whole problem here, don't you agree, was the issue of the lack of ethics of giving credit.
In this case, he would be selling a transcription work, once that's right.
Transcription work.
That's it.
So someone you admire, I don't even believe the guy would be upset.
Yes, yes.
Right? Do you agree with that in this sense?
No doubt, giving credit to the guy who composed it is even cool. It's visibility, especially a guitarist with so many followers, so famous on the internet like him, right? Taking one of your videos. Oh, I transcribed Vinny's solo. Mateus says, look at this.
Even feel honored, right?
Wow, for sure, man. No problem with that. The problem was the dishonesty, right?
Yeah.
That's plagiarism, right, man? It's like copying a song, right? Copying a song and making yourself famous.
Yeah. It's because I don't know if you transcribe a solo, give credit, play it, I don't know if that would be plagiarism.
That's a question.
Yeah, I think it wouldn't be plagiarism, right?
It would be an interpretation there.
Yeah.
No, but if you do it exactly the same is the same, man.
Yeah, I don't know. I would even like to know if someone has the answer to this. Because, yeah, it might be considered plagiarism because if you analyze the melody of the improvisation and you did more than 4 or 6 bars exactly the same,
It could be classified as a cover maybe, right? There it is. I'm recording a cover of so-and-so here. Then I think it goes right.
But then there are the credits, right? The whole issue.
No, and the dude, he not only, copied note for note, but he didn't change the key, didn't change the tempo, nothing. And then the guy who made the critical video put one on top of the other.
On top of the other. You can't even notice the overlap of the videos there. It's as if it were the same thing. Yeah.
And man, how does the guy believe this will go unnoticed? Like in 2025, dude.
Especially nowadays, right? With the internet out there, everyone can, and that's what happened, right?
It's a lot of naivety, right, man? And it seems there was another thing too, that then it's that habit. It's going to crumble. Everything's going to crumble, right? People were writing there that the guy, someone really liked the guy. Sent him a track to play on the guitar, paid for it, and he never sent it back. And the guy, like several huge brands, started sponsoring him. And sometimes a smaller guy who's a luthier from Europe somewhere like that would send a guitar to the guy, I don't know, worth $5,000 for the guy to make several videos. He'd make one, take the guitar and sell it. He started having signature pickups, right, man? Yeah, signature guitar pickups. The guy was huge, man.
Wow.
He was as big as Mateus Starling, or maybe even bigger, right? He was perhaps even more in the spotlight at the moment, right, man?
I think so. There was an attempt from what I saw on when I checked his social media, right? When I heard the news to see if there was anything, right? I saw the comments, right? Where many people, let's boycott this guy, right? Then there were comments like, oh, and this theme here, who did you steal it from? And this other one here, people really went after the guy, right? When I checked, he was nearing 800,000 followers. I don't know if many people unfollowed because of this.
I was monitoring it. He lost followers, but I think a lot of people started following to see the drama.
It backfired, right? Exactly.
And I found it interesting that the guy didn't close the comments, man. They're open. You can go in there, dude. I don't know how he's going to handle a tour in the United States that he has in a month, man. Difficult. Wow, how are you going to get on stage to perform? Knowing that everyone knows about this, right?
House fell, right?
The house has fallen.
I wouldn't face it, man. If she were to treat me like, guys, I'm going to check into a clinic here for detox. I'll be back in a year, right, man?